You're my surrogate family?
If it's any consolation, I'm not happy about it either. Good night.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 Leonard and Sheldon moments.
He's also loyal and trustworthy, and we have fun together.
For this list, we'll be looking at the funniest, sweetest, and most entertaining times that, underneath it all, Leonard and Sheldon really were BFFs. Number 10. Working together. While Leonard often complains that living with Sheldon can be a lot, even he can't resist collaborating with his beautiful mind. And while he might soon regret it, we can't help but revel in the chaos as it unfolds.
Allowed to exchange pleasantries upon meeting this colonel?
Yes.
Am I allowed to inform him that Colonel Sanders was never actually in the military?
I'm getting enraged.
Are they always the perfect team? Obviously not. We haven't heard of too many presentations of co-penned papers that end in brawls, although Howard assures us they're not all that unusual.
Is this usually how these physics things go?
More often than you think.
However, they had each other's back during the whole shady helium acquiring ordeal, and their co-paper on superfluids did receive rave reviews, even from Stephen Hawking. It's always fun to see Mr. Insightful and Mr. Innovative work together.
We're insightful and innovative.
It is nice to meet you, Mr. Insightful.
Oh, the pleasure is mine, Mr. Innovative.
Number 9. Saying goodbye at the train station. We all know that Sheldon's strongly adverse to change, and unfortunately for Sheldon, in this episode, those changes just kept on coming. So he does the only rational thing he can think of: get on a train and leave Pasadena. Luckily, Leonard tracks him down before he takes off and tries to convince him to come home.
What can I do?
Leonard, I am overwhelmed. Everything is changing and it's simply too much. I need to get away and think.
When even a trip to Legoland can't win him over, Leonard, with some convincing from Penny, realizes he has to let his friend go.
Sheldon, if you really need to do this, I'm not going to stand in your way.
I do.
Okay. Good luck.
It's a sweet moment between the duo, showing how much Leonard loves and cares for his buddy, and Sheldon does his part by making their farewells that much easier.
I'm going to miss you.
Of course you are.
Just made that easier.
Number 8. Standing up for each other. While Sheldon can often be the biggest jerk in Leonard's life, he certainly won't stand for anyone else picking on his little buddy.
Leonard, I platonically love you, man, but face it, you're a mess.
How many friends would join a quest to retrieve their new neighbour's TV and be so understanding when they leave without the television and their pants?
Sheldon, I am so sorry I dragged you through this.
It's okay. It wasn't my first pantsing, and it won't be my last.
Or have their friends back when they're in a standoff with a guy twice their size.
You're one lucky little leprechaun.
He's a hobbit. I got your back.
And would they stand by you if an unpleasant blast from the past sauntered back into your life? Leonard's there for Sheldon too. Well, he tries to be.
I can't believe we're going all the way to San Diego to confront this guy.
Yeah, we're kind of badasses, aren't we?
Totally.
Would you be willing to drive out on a rescue mission to save your friend's battle ostrich? Number 7. Being best men. And weird other husband who came with the apartment. Since Leonard and Penny eloped, they didn't exactly need a best man. However, that didn't stop Sheldon from getting in there at their second wedding.
I now pronounce you husband and wife. And weird other husband who came with the apartment.
Meanwhile, Sheldon puts his friends through a series of tasks before ultimately choosing Leonard as his best man. And when the big day arrived, the pair shared a touching moment that made us both happy, cry, and cry with laughter. Their heart-to-heart encapsulates everything we love about their friendship.
After today, you are officially, and more important, legally, Amy's problem.
Don't be silly, Leonard. I will always be your problem.
And it's so great that Leonard could be there for one of the most significant moments of Sheldon's life.
What are you guys doing?
Super asymmetry.
Super asymmetry? Is that a thing?
We're inventing it right now.
Don't you think this can wait until... Hold on, this is interesting.
Oh, and watch him get married, of course. Number 6. Leonard signs out of the roommate agreement. After one emergency drill night too many, Leonard's had enough and opts out of the roommate agreement, thereby nullifying its friendship clauses.
All right, that's it. We are now no longer companions, boon or otherwise. We are now merely acquaintances. To amend the words of Toy Story, you have not got a friend in me.
While Leonard enjoys his newfound freedom, Sheldon realizes just how much he relies on his roommate. Heck, he even misses his companionship. And what won't he do to try and win him back? We know Sheldon can be pretty insufferable, but unlike that marshmallow, he sure made our hearts melt.
Listen, Sheldon, this is stupid. I don't see why we can't be friends. And I'm willing to drive you around and help you out with stuff. I just don't want to do it because of some silly roommate agreement.
We guess we'll never know who caused the power outage, but at least they helped rekindle this friendship and founded Leonard's Day.
Who do you think did that, Sheldon?
Oh, I don't know. But whoever that mystery man was, you should be eternally grateful. For without him, there would be no Leonard's Day.
We hope Sheldon never forgot to get Leonard a card. Number 5. Splitting up their stuff. It finally happened. Sheldon's moving out. But before we start any dance parties, first we need to get through the division of possessions. And if we know Sheldon, that won't be any picnic.
These items represent our shared times together.
Well, now they're yours.
Leonard.
Well, you know what's gonna happen. He's just gonna come up with some reason why everything should be his.
For a man so good at predicting my moves, how can you stink at 3D chess?
Indeed, to no one's surprise, Sheldon wants pretty much everything, but Leonard's not taking it lying down. Their feud escalates with Sheldon changing the Wi-Fi password, Leonard getting all snug in the apartment's flag, and Sheldon inviting a stranger to sublet his room.
Sheldon, get out here.
Will you keep it down? What kind of vengeful bed and breakfast do you think I'm running?
Understandably, that last one is the final straw, leading to a heated argument. But sometimes it takes a stranger to unmask the real feelings hiding underneath all that anger and vengeance.
You're in a new phase of your lives, and it's easier to fight than to face the feelings that you have for one another.
Number 4. The start of a beautifully wacky friendship. This episode answers the questions many Big Bang fans have been wondering. How did Sheldon and Leonard wind up living together? Why did Leonard stay? And what happened to the elevator? Despite numerous warnings, Leonard goes ahead and signs the roommate agreement.
If either of us ever invents time travel, we agree our first stop will be this meeting today in precisely 5 seconds. Okay.
And yes, Sheldon can be so infuriating, but perhaps a roommate with better social skills wouldn't have, albeit unintentionally, saved Leonard from serving time.
Luckily, Sheldon drove her out before I revealed anything important, which I'm not saying I would have.
So, that's it? You stayed with Sheldon all this time because he kept you from going to federal prison?
He also has the foresight to rescue Leonard and co. when their experiment goes wrong. Look, they'd just met. Anyone else might have ratted Leonard out. Instead, Sheldon proves that he's Leonard's ride or die, and we see the beginnings of a beautiful, if somewhat unhinged, friendship.
Not only did Sheldon save my life, he didn't rat me out to the landlord, or the police, or Homeland Security.
Number 3. Misadventures on Skywalker Ranch. On their way to give a lecture, Leonard and Sheldon stop by Skywalker Ranch with hopes of getting in.
I don't think George Lucas put his headquarters in the middle of nowhere because he wanted people dropping in.
Yoda's swamp was in the middle of nowhere.
While the answer is no, the nice security guard offers them souvenirs instead. It's a generous offer, but not enough for Sheldon.
Don't move. Code AA23. AA23.
Copy.
I can see the ranch, Leonard. Oh, it's rustic. It's lovely. I'd take a picture, but people are chasing me. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. They have tasers. They wouldn't dare use.
We almost weren't surprised when, thanks to Sheldon, they ended up getting detained. Luckily, they're let off with a warning, but Leonard's still pretty mad. That is until Sheldon puts a glass half full spin on the day's proceedings.
Not only did we go to Skywalker Ranch, we got in. And no one we know can say that. And for all the times you find me irritating, today you got to watch someone shoot me with a taser.
With that in mind, they agree that actually it had been a pretty cool day. Say what you will about Sheldon, but he certainly knows how to have some unique adventures.
I guess this could count as an adventure.
It was. And even though we're not allowed back there, they can never take today away from us.
Number 2. Sheldon thinks he knows best. Sheldon freaks out when Leonard announces he's having minor surgery. He spends the episode trying to talk him out of it with horror stories and constant reminders of the worst that can happen.
One shaky scalpel away from becoming the dancing fountain at Disneyland.
Sheldon, do you realize that driving is riskier than surgery?
I do. I have the drive to the hospital right here.
And as annoying as that sounds, we could read between the lines. He's actually super worried about his buddy, and it's kind of adorable. Leonard tries to get the surgery without Sheldon knowing, but nothing gets past Sheldon Cooper.
Obviously, I care about Leonard. I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with him.
What, and I'm not?
When a small tremor causes a power outage, Sheldon is beside himself.
I need to see he's okay.
Sheldon, you can't go back there.
Try and stop me.
Are you okay?
Why didn't you stop me?
We've heard of sympathy pain, but he really took that to the next level. Even if Sheldon doesn't admit it, everyone knows how much he loves Leonard.
I was not panicked, and I'm not overly attached to Leonard.
You were so worried that you smashed your face trying to check on me. You love me.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Sheldon covers for Leonard. Sheldon hates to lie, but he'll do it for his buddy, whether he wants it or not.
Maggie McGarry. You met her at Pasadena's most popular Irish watering hole, Lucky Baldwin's, where Maggie spends her nights tending bar with a head full of curls and a heart full of dreams.
Sheldon wishes Leonard the best. After much introspective work, Sheldon finds it in him to be happy for his pal.
I couldn't be happier for him.
Thank you, Sheldon. That must have been very hard for you to say.
Well, I mean it. I'm really happy for you.
A Nobel shout-out. Sheldon gives Leonard the acknowledgement he deserved. We were bawling.
My two dearest friends in the world, Penny Hofstadter and Dr. Leonard Hofstadter.
Finding comfort in friendship. Sheldon's not much of a hugger, so this really is a testament to their bond.
You know that Arthur's son is a high school son?
Ball pit bazinga. Are you even BFFs if one of you isn't willing to chase the other one around a ball pit in the middle of the night?
Bazinga. Bazinga. Bazinga.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Leonard and Sheldon aren't ready to give up roomie status. As we've already mentioned, Sheldon isn't a fan of change.
We know this is a sensitive subject, and Leonard's not gonna move out until you're ready.
Well, what if you did it gradually?
All right.
And while he and Leonard often butt heads over their living arrangement, he certainly can't imagine life any other way. While sitting in a clothing store with no cell reception, the roommates reflect on their time together.
I'm sorry. You make compromises for me?
All the time.
On Earth.
They get pretty riled up talking about the compromises they've made for each other. But of course, under all their grievances, there's a lot of love. And they weren't the only ones reaching out for tissues.
I'm aware of how difficult I can be, so I just want to say thank you for putting up with me.
Buddy.
Each realizes how the other has positively impacted their life and how they'll always be there for each other. Now excuse us while we go hug our best friends.
We really are the best.
Which Lendon moment was friendship goals for you? Let us know in the comments.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.